So our cruise on the Oasis of the Seas has come and gone, but I wanted to share with you the 10 things that we absolutely loved so that you could know what are the things that you must see, must try, must do during your cruise on the Oasis of the Seas. Hi there, I'm Ilana from the website lifewellcruise.com. Welcome back to my channel. Now, despite a couple of challenges and surprises, we had a really good time on the Oasis of the Seas. And in this video, I wanted to share with you some of the things that I think that you will really like, some of the little tips and secrets along the way, and definitely some things that you should make sure that you plan for while you have your own cruise vacation on the Oasis of the Seas. Now, before I get started, I did want to mention that if you like this video, if you find it helpful, informative, or enjoyable in any way, then please do give the video a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And of course, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Let's get started. Now, the first area that I wanted to talk to you about on the Oasis of the Seas is the solarium. Now, the solarium pool area is an adult-only area, but the reason I wanted to mention it first is because there are so many other incredible things that you've probably already seen about the Oasis of the Seas. But if you are looking for just a little bit of space where you can really see and feel the ocean, that you can have some calming space outside of the hustle and the bustle of the Oasis of the Seas, you'll really love going to the solarium area. And you might want to spend a little bit of time there in the morning and then go to the activity-orientated pools afterwards, or even end the day off in the solarium. So just to tell you some of the things that we found about the solarium that you may also appreciate is there are a lot of varieties of different types of chairs. So you have your lounge chairs, your sort of layout deck chairs. You also have sofa style, patio style furniture, and you have as well some tables where you can play cards if you want to, or you can sit and eat or have a drink with friends. You can do all of that in the solarium area. Now, the solarium is actually not fully covered. It's sort of half covered, which really is quite nice. And I don't think I've ever really seen this on any other cruise ship. Now, something else that we really liked, and I believe this was part of the refurbishment in, I think it was 2019, is there is an area outdoors of the solarium. So if you want to go and lay out in the full sun, for instance, and really get that sea air, you could do that right in the forward of the solarium. And the view is really just magnificent. One last thing, you even have the Solarium Bistro. So if you want to have a little bit of breakfast at the Solarium Bistro in the morning time, you can do that. In our case, on our cruise, it did close at 1 o'clock. So we were able to have some fresh fruit, coffee, that kind of thing up until then. However, I do think usually it is open for lunchtime. So maybe if you're lucky, you are going to have the Solarium Bistro open for lunch, and you can even have a bite to eat there. It's just beautiful. Number 2, the Oasis of the Seas really has the absolute coolest activities on board that you could ever just see all together on one cruise ship. Now, we traveled with our 21-year-old son, and he did say, as much as he's loved other cruise ships, he said this is the most amazing cruise ship. He absolutely loved it. So, and this is activities really for all ages. It depends really what you like to do, but the kind of activities that you will see, and you should give it a try, I think, on the Oasis of the Seas is a zip line. And now to think about that, how much would that cost if you went to an island and you did zip lining? Or on other cruise ships, sometimes you have some of the activities that actually have a large charge, like some of the roller coasters or race cars. You can zip line on the Oasis of the Seas, and this is actually free or included. Now, beyond the zip line, you also have the Ultimate Abyss. That is a dry slide that goes down, I think it's 10 stories high. Now, my son and my husband did that one, but I decided to skip that one and sit that one out. Now, you have 2 flow riders or surfing type pools, and you have 3 water slides as well. So you have 2 water slides that are considered easy and one that is considered, well, more difficult. Now, I definitely did the easy one, but I did go on a water slide. Number 3, the Central Park neighborhood. Now, you know, on the Oasis of the Seas, there are different neighborhoods. There's the boardwalk area, the Central Park, the Royal Promenade. But Central Park is absolutely unique. You will never find anything that is like this, I think, on any other cruise ship, at least so far. There are actually 12,000 plus living plants on board in the Central Park area. It is just beautiful, and it even smells fresh. I've never felt or experienced that on a cruise ship before. Central Park is a perfect area to stroll and even to walk through if you want to go from one part of the ship to the other. So you could do that. And at the same time, you could stop in and you could have a bite to eat at Central Park. I'll tell you more about Central Park and the food later, but you'll have live musicians in Central Park. Even in the morning time, you hear a little bit of a sound of birds. I think that is a little sound effect. And at nighttime, you can hear crickets. It really is unique. Number 4, the entertainment on Oasis of the Seas is actually amazing. And this is despite the 2 major shows that didn't happen on our cruise. So yes, we did not have the Aqua show on our cruise. They unfortunately weren't ready, the crew, and they were still practicing. So that was really something disappointing. And Cats, there was apparently an injury. So Cats didn't go on as well. So as you can imagine, 2 major shows that didn't happen on Oasis of the Seas. You had some disappointed passengers. But despite that, the rest of the entertainment was really so good that I really think out of all the cruises we've ever done, even without those 2 major shows, the entertainment was phenomenal. So some things that I think you should definitely make some time to see and do. Of course, see the Broadway show, see the Aqua show. It's probably going to happen for you. But on top of that, the ice skating show. Now make sure that you do make reservations as soon as you get onto the cruise ship. Make sure that you go on your cruise planner and you do book those things up. The audience participation games, Love and Marriage, is always a lot of fun. There is karaoke, a variety of other type of games, including the Friendly Feud. Really, really fun entertainment. This cruise ship is absolutely alive at any time of day and into the night. Number 5, we loved the food options. There were so many food options on this cruise ship. And of course, there's a lot of passengers, so it does make a lot of sense. Now, I'm trying to keep this video a little bit short, so I'm just going to name them quickly. But if you'd like to see more about the food on the Oasis of the Seas, please let me know with a comment down below. Now, some of our favorite food options, I will start with Central Park because we started almost every morning out by going to Central Park, having an Americana coffee, because we did have the beverage package and that coffee was included. It was really good. But if you like cappuccino, you can have that there too. You can have bagels, egg sandwiches, fruit parfaits, just fresh fruit, which, by the way, as an aside, everywhere you go on Oasis of the Seas, you can get fresh fruit to go in a cup. I love to have healthy options. Now, the Central Park as well, if you go at lunchtime, you can have like ready-made salads or salads that you get them to make for you, as well as some really delicious sandwiches. And of course, at any time of the day, you do have some delicious treats and snacks and pastries as well. Now, somewhere that is free, so it is included, but you should definitely go, is El Loco Fresh. I think it might be my second or maybe my first favorite casual restaurant on any cruise. I like pizza, so to be honest, I have a favorite pizza place that is on Princess Cruises. But I love Mexican food as well. And the Mexican food at El Loco Fresh, very, very casual, of course, but absolutely so delicious. So you can have fresh cilantro, guacamole, a really nice salsa that's cut up nice and fresh, like a pico de gallo, I think they call it. Now, forgive me, I am obviously not Mexican in any way, so I am butchering all of that. But all I can tell you, it is absolutely delicious and you should definitely go. And another little tip, if you have the beverage package especially, try to get like a mango daiquiri or a margarita before you go, or otherwise just pick up a seltzer and enjoy that with your delicious Mexican casual meal. Now, you might be wondering what we thought of the main dining room, and honestly, it was pretty good. I wasn't sure what to expect. I've definitely heard some mixed reviews, but in comparison to other cruise lines that we've been on, we really did find it pretty comparable overall, at least in terms of the food. Now, we did do one night of specialty dining, and even though we had to pay extra for this, I absolutely think it was worth it. And we even considered going again, but we just didn't. It was Chops Grill. Absolutely delicious, totally worth it. Now, one tip is that you can eat outdoors. So if you can see if you can get reservations to eat outdoors al fresco, like in Central Park. Perhaps that was just part of the experience and that was why it was so wonderful. But it was really one of our very best dining experiences out of any cruise, and I highly recommend it. Now, I wasn't going to say much more about the food, but I feel I really have to, because I just can't not say something about Playmakers, which has this tower of onion rings, just amazing, and really some of the best chicken wings that we've ever had. We definitely really enjoyed going to Playmakers as well. But let me know if you want to hear more about food menus and drinks. Please let me know down in the comments below. Now, if you're anything like me, you might be jotting down some of the different things that you want to do while you're on the Oasis of the Seas, some of the drinks you want to drink, some of the shows you want to see, all of that sort of thing. So I did just want to show you, this is one part of the Ultimate Cruise Planner. Now, the Ultimate Cruise Planner is a downloadable, printable cruise planner that you could actually download and print out the pages that you want to get organized for your cruise and use it again and again. But basically on the sheet, what you have is you can write down the shows that you want to see, the activities you want to do, the restaurants, the drinks that you want to try, basically everything that you need to kind of remember and make sure that you get the most out of your cruise vacation. Now, the Ultimate Cruise Planner includes packing lists and more, everything that you'll need from the time that you book your cruise through disembarkation. Now, I'm going to leave the information about the Ultimate Cruise Planner linked down below in the description of this video in case you are interested in checking it out. Number 6, the cabin balcony. Now, I do have to tell you a story about our cabin in just a minute, but first I did just have to mention it's a pretty small thing, but in comparison to a lot of other cruise ships that we've been on in the last few years, the balcony itself is really quite large and spacious. So we had 2 decent sized chairs and we had a full-size table. So if you wanted to have your breakfast, maybe your room service right on the balcony, you could do so. And you could even remove the divider. You can have the cabin attendant remove that if you are traveling with other people that are next door to you as well. Number 7, the Royal Promenade. Now, if you've cruised with Royal Caribbean before, you know that instead of an atrium on the Voyager class ships, the Freedom class ships, and the Oasis class ships, that they have this promenade. I absolutely love it. As much as I like other cruise ships with the atrium that they have, there is something about that promenade that is just so convenient to go from back to front of the cruise ship. It just makes it really easy to navigate. And the Royal Promenade always had something going on. So whether it was to stop for a drink or maybe a snack at either Cafe Promenade or at Sorrento's Pizza or maybe at one of the bars, that was always a really good option, or the Rising Tide Bar. That was a little bit of fun as well. But there were often like shopping opportunities, if that interests you, little kiosks set up with a lot of different sales and things going on. We even had in the promenade a 70s party one night, a lot of live musicians. It was just always happening until even after midnight. And yet it really never felt super noisy when you were outside of that area. That is definitely an absolute plus, something we loved about the Oasis of the Seas. Number 8, our cabin location. Now, to be honest, I even wondered if I should share this with you, if it would be useful. But then I thought about it and I absolutely loved this cabin location, and I thought you might want to know about it because I know a lot of people do wonder, where should I get my cabin on the Oasis of the Seas? It is so big. And to be honest, I didn't even do this on purpose. I sort of got this cabin accidentally. Basically, I booked a guarantee cabin. This is what I ended up with, and I wasn't even happy with it at first. So this is where the cabin location was, and I think it is a good one. It was 7160, a balcony cabin on deck 7, and it was a little bit forward, not far from the elevator and stairs. But first of all, what made it so great is that if you went one deck up, you were able to be right on Central Park. That was a perfect location. If you went 2 decks down to 5, you were at Royal Promenade. That was great. I didn't need to take the elevators. It was very, very fast. If you decided to go 1 deck down to deck 6, you were right at the gym. My favorite location in terms of being outdoors was the Solarium. And we were able to take the elevator right up to, I believe it was deck 16. That was too much for me to walk every day. So we did end up taking the elevator for that, but it was just perfect. And by going through Central Park or by going through the Royal Promenade, we were able to navigate the entire ship perfectly. And if you are wondering, is it noisy to be near the elevator or to be near the stairs. We didn't find it noisy at all. And even though we were in the forward of the ship, this is such a big cruise ship that location still left many, many cabins in front of us, and it really was just fine. I'd love to know from you if you are sailing on the Oasis of the Seas, or if you've sailed before on the Oasis of the Seas, or even its sister ships. Where do you think the perfect cabin location is? Please let me know down in the comments below. I know it's going to be really helpful for other people. Number 9, the less thrill-seeking activities. Now, what I mean is Oasis of the Seas is really known for the zip line and for the ultimate abyss, and those are amazing. But if you just like some activities on the cruise ship that are not necessarily thrill-seeking, but anybody can do them, there really are a good variety and some things that we really enjoyed. So we went ice skating on the Oasis of the Seas. And in this case, our cruise left from Cape Liberty in Bayonne, New Jersey. So this was perfect because it was cool the first morning of the cruise and we were able to go ice skating. This is something I haven't done in years, and it was really a lot of fun. Now, if you like mini golf, there's a beautiful miniature golf course that is right on the top deck of the Oasis of the Seas, and a sports deck, and these are definitely things that you should check out. And number 10, if you like cruise drinks, I have to say these were some of the very best cruise drinks that I've had in years and years and years. Absolutely loved them. And of course we had the beverage package, so we could try several of them, but I'm gonna name you just a few of my favorites. And I really did try quite a few, but a few of my favorites were the mango daiquiri. It was just so good. I did try the lime and coconut. It was a little bit sweet, but just beautiful and pink, and it really was quite good. The mimosa was always one of my favorites. The frozen mojito, really good. The Miami Vice, the Coco Loco, which I don't even think was on the menu, but that was the drink we asked for because we knew it from years ago. My husband absolutely loved that one, although it is definitely quite sweet. And the pina colada. Oh, and I almost forgot, the red sangria. Oh my gosh, did I ever love that red sangria. Unfortunately, I found that at the end of the cruise, but that was probably one of my absolute favorites. It was really good, in particular at Playmakers. Now, I'm going to leave the information about the Ultimate Cruise Planner linked down below in the description of this video in case you are interested in checking it out. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Bye for now, and happy cruising.